Carter, John Longshore, and the Alabama News Network sports team.
And you know it's truly football season when you see us on your Friday night. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mo and Longshore Live here on CBS 8 and ABC Montgomery. He's John Longshore. I'm Mo Carter. And John, you ready to rock and roll with some more football?
Yeah, Mo, I'm ready. I caught a little high school action tonight down at Crampton Bowl, and certainly a lot of high school action all over the state we're going to be talking about tonight.
Yes, sir. We'll get the high school action in just a little bit, but let's start off with some college stuff. Here's what's on tap. Alabama begins to prep for Wisconsin. Auburn, they're already in game week mode. We'll find out why. Then we'll have that Capital Hyundai high school highlight reel coming up a little later. And then further on in the show, we'll talk about ASU and Tuskegee renewing their rivalry. A lot of fans are happy about that one, even though it happens in a few years. But first of all, let's start off with Alabama. They recently started their preparation for the season opener with Wisconsin, following this week's practice more like a Monday routine. And it's an important day in transition out of preseason camp into season mode, mainly because a lot of young guys who will probably redshirt or not contribute as much, they were limited in their transitions, while a lot of the starting lineups, they were being talked to a lot by the coach. Coach Nick Saban, he explained this whole entire process.
Players get tired of practicing against each other when you've been in camp for, I don't know, this was the 20-some practice today. So, you know, they get a little bored. But, you know, the whole key to the drill is once they think they know how to do it right, they think they can get casual and not pay attention to detail and practice things the way they need to. But the whole idea is I'm going to practice it until I can't do it wrong. There's a big difference in that. They're every day and focus on doing it exactly right so you can do it over and over and over and over, and it's going to be a part of who you are and what you do, and those habits will carry over in the game. So.
Now, John, are you a little surprised that Alabama finally got into game mode 8 days before the actual first game?
Yeah, no, not really surprising. And you know it's game week because some of the guys that are way down on the depth chart are sporting some of the Wisconsin players' numbers so the first teamers can get familiar with who they'll see a week from tomorrow night out in Dallas. But, of course, Mo, the big question is who's taking the snaps under center. I think you're going to have Jake Coker take the first series against Wisconsin and a couple of other quarterbacks possibly getting some action as well. They did it with Phillip Sims and A.J. McCarron a couple of years ago. It was settled on the field of play in game action. That's what I believe is going to happen with the Alabama quarterback situation this year as well. Now the Crimson Tide, they will be featured in this week's preseason blitz. We'll talk all about that quarterback situation as well. Don't forget to check out the Mo and Longshore preseason blitz tomorrow night at 6 p.m. right here on CBS 8 and ABC Montgomery. And then next week, we've got the Alabama Crimson Tide on ABC Montgomery in prime time over in Arlington, Texas, in Jerry's World, 7 p.m. You don't want to miss it on ABC Montgomery. Switching over now to the Auburn Tigers. Gus Malzahn and Rhett Lashley, they're formulating a plan for Auburn's offensive attack against a stingy Louisville defense. Now, the Cardinals, they're one of the top defensive fronts in the ACC last season, and they could give Auburn some early season fits in their season opener.
Really, their front seven is definitely a strength. Their two linebackers are both really good players. The other D linemen, the ones that didn't start last year, all played 7, 8, 9 games. They played a lot of games. So they got a bunch of guys with experience, a bunch of guys with productivity. They were about as good as anybody last year at turning you over and getting after the passer, and they were really good against the run.
John, we saw Louisville's defense give some certain people fits. Remember, they jumped out on Florida State last year. Do you think that could be a possibility next week against Auburn?
You know, Mo, I do. And I tell you, I had to reevaluate this Louisville defense because earlier in the summer I wasn't that impressed with it. But once I took a closer look, yeah, they've got some athletes on this team, and I think they could give Auburn some trouble. I believe this game will be tight early on through the third quarter, but I think Auburn pulls away and ends this game by about 10 points or more.
All right, because this game is on CBS and it's Auburn's first game. Yes, you hear that lovely music in the background, everyone. That's the SEC on CBS. It'll feature Auburn and Louisville next Saturday at 2:30. Watch it live on CBS 8. All right, everyone, we're just getting started here on Mo and Longshore Live. We're going to take a break from the college format and switch it over to the prep ranks. Coming up next, we'll get you the best high school action that the River Region has to offer on the high school front. That's coming up next on Mo and Longshore Live.